Hey everybody, sorry we missed you last week. We headed over the hill to the valley to help our daughter move. Her and her family moved to a new place in a nice little small town over in the valley. The drive was really pretty, really nice to get out and see the country again. One downside though is this year we have not had much snow. And even up at the top of the pass, there was so little snow up there. But the skies are crystal clear, drive was beautiful, we got to see a covered bridge. All in all, it was a good trip. We also were able to get them moved over in just a few days to their new place, which was also a blessing. This week we're going to do a one-year review of our Chevy Colorado that we bought up in Kellogg, Idaho, just a little over a year ago. So stay tuned and we'll fill you in on what we think of our new truck. Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. This episode we're going to do a one-year review of our Chevy Colorado. We've had it for just over a year. We have just over 18,000 miles on it. Figure that's a good time to go over it and talk about what we've done, what we like, what we don't like, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. I think the best way to start is let's talk about the bad first. And one of the bad things, and some of this we probably wouldn't have known had we not had the Ford F-150, but going to a smaller truck, this is kind of a given, but it happened, is the lack of storage cubbies. Do we still have storage? Yes. But this is so much smaller than the Ford armrest. And the Ford seemed to have little cubbies, nooks and crannies and everything all over the place to put stuff in. Had a tray up on the passenger side above the glove box that Sonja could keep her sunglasses. I mean, we found solutions. We've got these clips on our visors that hold our glasses, but just overall it's much smaller inside. There's not as much room in the back seat. Just overall it's just a lot smaller, and you don't have the storage that we had in the other vehicle. The back seat space is definitely one of those things that you definitely feel. I mean, before we had a flat floor. This does not have a flat floor. You can see the hump there. When you fold the seats up in here, you still have the underseat storage, which the Ford did not have. It had a little tray thing, but you open that seat up and you had a lot of storage space, and it was all flat. So we don't have that. I could comfortably have 3 people sit in the other back seat. This one, I would feel comfortable only having 2 full-grown adults in the back of this. I would not put a third unless they're really close and like each other. It does what it needs to do for us, but it is something we've noticed is just that lack. One of the other issues that we've seen with this truck is lack of plug-ins, and part of that is the trim level. We went with a Trail Boss, which is a very basic bottom line off-road setup vehicle with a mild 2-inch lift up front from the factory, but these are it. You have a USB-C and a USB-A. That is it. There is like a cigar plug in the armrest, and we have plugged in another device here to charge, and it does have a couple of USB-A's on it, but no USB-C's, and that is it. There's nothing on the back of the armrest. Sorry for all that noise. So it is very limited on where you can plug things in. I'd like to move that outlet that I have in the armrest down here on the dashboard somewhere. I'm not sure where. So that, 'cause, I mean, this is for our rear view camera. This is for my phone. For Sonja, she has to plug into that plug-in we have in the armrest, and I'd like to have that out here where it's a little more open, easier to get to. But so there is the lack of plug-ins. Another issue we've had with this truck is this rear view camera. When we first got this truck, this camera was amazing. It stayed so clear in the rain. It did not seem to spot up like previous rear cameras we've had. But recently it started getting real blurry, just foggy looking, and got a close look at it the other day, and there's actually condensation building up inside it. We have since been to Chevy. They have ordered us a new one under warranty. It's coming in. That'll be installed as soon as it shows up. But that is one issue we have had with that. Another issue we've had is with the transmission. And I don't know if there's other Colorado owners out there that have had this issue, but there's been a few times where we get going and it seems to always be when the truck is cold, but around, I'd say, third gear-ish, maybe fourth gear. I think from my extremely basic knowledge of how transmissions work, it feels like one of the valves inside the valve body of the transmission is sticking, because it will feel like it missed a gear, but then you let up on the gas, it pops into gear, and you keep right on going down the road. We've had it in. They've done diagnostics on it. They cannot find anything wrong with it, so they say I have to wait till it shows itself in diagnostics, because they don't know what to actually look for. And they kept it overnight. They drove it when it was cold, and it didn't happen to them. It happens extremely rarely for us. The last time was probably a month ago, and before that was like 3 months ago. I'm trying to keep track of it all on my phone just so we have a record of it. The other thing we've had electronic wise is the screen. I've got no issues with the screen. I like Google Maps. The navigation has worked very well. It seems to be very quick. You know, my phone's not with me, so it's not going to hook up, but its phone hookups have been really good. Maps worked great. I play my music off my phone on it. Everything works great. It's got a lot of different status you can have with it. One thing we've had, and I don't understand why, but we'll be traveling and I'll either be under navigation mode or just have the map up, and it will on its own switch to like the towing screen. And that has also been looked at from Chevy. They don't know why, but that occurs every once in a while. And the other thing we had with the vehicle not too long ago, in fact right before our trip to Arizona, was the check engine light came on. And I scanned it. I keep a scan tool. It's just a real basic, just will give you codes, but you have to go to the internet and look up the code. And I did that, and it said something about the body control module had activated the check engine light. I drove down to Chevy. They scanned it. They said it had something to do with our HVAC temperature control, and that everything was fine for me to go down to Arizona in January. We did. We came back. They looked at it. All the codes have since erased, and the check engine light is no longer on. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue down the road, but that is something we have had with the truck. Now that we talked about some bad, let's talk about the good. One of the good things that I really like about this truck is we'd travel over the pass, mountain pass, in the wintertime to go see our kids and other family, and oftentimes it's patchy snow. This truck has an all-wheel drive feature to it, so it's not just four-wheel drive or two-wheel drive, but you also have a auto. And I really like that. I actually used it a couple times this winter. When you're going on and off of patches of snow and ice on the roadway, it is like an all-wheel drive. It gives power where power is needed, but you don't have that same, for those that have driven four-wheel drives, you know that if you're in the snow and your front end can slip a little bit, you don't have any problems. But if you get on hard concrete, dry concrete, and you're still in four-wheel drive and you try to turn, your front end gets really stiff and kind of fights the steering wheel, and you'll have kind of a shake to the front end because the front tires are trying to turn at the exact same speed, and they can't do that when you're turning. having the 4 auto on here, it drives just normal. You don't have those issues, but you have the added safety of having the all-wheel drive through the snow, and I really, really like that. Another plus to this truck is its fuel mileage. The Ford actually didn't do too bad, but this thing, when we're not towing, we're just doing standard driving, especially highway driving, we get great fuel mileage. I'd have to pull out the Moroni sticker because I don't remember exactly what it was, but I want to say it was like 18-ish city and like 21 highway with like 19 or 20 combined or something in that area. We've got as high as 24.3 miles per gallon in this truck. That was pretty much all highway. And that's calculated at the pump, not trusting the computer. Though I will say the computer on this truck has definitely been better than the computer on the Ford. It has been a lot closer to actual fuel mileage than what the old Ford used to do. And I like that. Another plus to this truck is the seats. We have found these seats to be very comfortable. On our trip down to Arizona, I did not feel as fatigued when I got to the end of the drive day. And I mean, it still kind of boggles my mind a little bit that when I sit in these seats initially, they don't feel quite as soft and comfortable as our old truck. But at the end of a long drive day, I would prefer to sit in these seats than the Fords. But we really like the seat comfort. I mean, I've had a couple of passengers on longer, 2-3 hour drives in the back seat, and no complaints there either. So that's good. Another thing that we both agree on is we like the color of this truck better than our previous truck. I know it's a small thing, but it is something. And the other thing is the tires. These are Goodyear Wrangler Territory ATs, and they're not the best tires I've ever had on a vehicle, but they are definitely not the worst. The last truck we had, the tires on it, in my opinion, were garbage. And we were in a little bit of snow here in town. I was taking a turn, and thankfully nobody was coming the other way because I ended up in the oncoming lane because the tires on that old truck they were not good for winter driving. These, we've had them up in the snow and the ice on the winter passes, and again, they're not the best tires I've ever driven in snow, but they're not bad. I've been really happy with these tires. They're pretty quiet on the road. They seem to have good traction. I will say, I mean, we've only got 18,000 miles on them, and looking at the tread depth, I don't think I have tons of time left on these before I have to replace them. I'm thinking we'll get up to about 30,000 miles or a little bit more off of them, but I'm not expecting tons more mileage on these before I have to replace them. But they have been a decent tire. Another plus that we look at is the size. This truck is so much smaller. Sonja feels so much more confident driving it. She can see over the hood. I will admit we have the driver's seat as high up as it'll go, but neither one of us are all that tall. I'm only 5'11". She's 5'3". But she can see over the hood so much better in this truck. She feels like she knows where the tires are. She knows where the truck is in the lane of travel. It fits in our garage better. It's nicer going through parking lots, finding places to park. The turning radius is a lot sharper. The size of it has just been a real benefit to us. I know it wouldn't work for everybody, but for us, the size is definitely something to look at. Overall, would we buy this truck again? That's a definite yes from both of us. Is it perfect? No, but I don't think there's any perfect truck out there. And we'll see how this does long term. When we did buy it, we got an extended warranty, so our fingers are crossed. Hopefully we don't have to use the extended warranty, but yeah, we're really happy with it, and hopefully it'll give us many more years of good use. We have done a few modifications to the truck since we've owned it. One of them is these running boards. Sonja really likes these running boards. They've been very handy They're not as high as we expected them to be, and I may adjust the brackets for it, but they're really good to step up on, to get into the truck and get out. I haven't needed it at this point, but we do plan on, you know, doing some mild off-roading. I want to take this thing hunting, and they should offer some decent protection to the truck. They're solid mount to the framework, so pretty darn happy with them. I really like the way they look. They shed water really well. They don't hold on to the muck like some other running boards I've had experiences with. Another thing that we've done is this Rubigrid bullet point dash mount. I really like this, my cell phone mount. And then this last trip to our kids to help them move, we put our DJI action camera up here. Worked great for that. And then this ball, I have the actual mount on order, but we have a rear camera for our RV, and the screen for that will fit on there and be right here and handy. I really like the build quality. It's good and solid. It goes on and off really easy. It looks good. It's amazing how much stuff I can put up there. Another thing we've added is the dash cam. And I'll have to admit, I have looked at stuff online of other people doing tests with that camera, and it seems to work really well. I have not pulled any images off of it yet, so I cannot really say anything about how it works. The tonneau cover, RealTruck, I have been really happy with this. It opens up nice. If for some reason we wanted to take the whole thing off, there's 4 thumb screws that you take off the bottom, and the whole thing can come off that quick. It rolls up nice. You've got a strap to strap it down if you need to carry something large. But it's solid. It's actually aluminum in here. So when it's closed, it is a solid, hard tonneau cover. And that has worked out really well. We really like that. And of course, one of the last videos we installed the molle panels. I've been really happy with them. They're working out well. Still want to build the mount for our air compressor and for the jack, but like the way that they sit. Really like the fit and function, and think we're going to get a lot of good use out of these molle panels. And then the last upgrade we've done so far is the lockable metal underseat storage from Victory 4x4. Victory 4x4 is the manufacturer of both the underseat storage and the molle panel. I have used this, including the lockable function, a couple of times already. I'm amazed at how much I can hold in here. One of the reasons why the jack is in the bed instead of underneath the seat is because I wanted the storage capacity underneath here versus having the jack underneath there. So that was my own doing, but I really like this underseat storage. It has worked out really well. We have had no issues with it. Very happy with it. So all in all, we've been super happy with our Colorado. Towing our trailer to the various campgrounds we've been to and down to Arizona has been great. It's got more than enough power. It's got like 310-ish horsepower and 425 foot-pounds of torque out of a 4-cylinder. And for our little trailer that so far, I mean, I'm not completely done with it. It weighed 2,600, 2,700, something like that total. And that was loaded with all of our food, clothes, and stuff. So towing the Tidewood, it has no issues at all. It's comfortable. The upgrades we've done to it have helped out. I mean, the Rubigrid dash mount for holding my cell phone and the camera, and now the rear camera for the RV, just been super helpful. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'd like some color in the cab. It's all black. I've thought about getting some good quality seat covers to spruce it up and keep these seats nicer for a longer period of time. And I've seen some dash decal sticker things that you can add to the doors and dashboard to give it some color. And I may do that down the road, but I mean, that's cosmetic. The function of the truck is good enough. I don't have to worry about that. But overall, we're really happy with it. Overall, we would go buy another one tomorrow. And I hope this video helps anybody out there that's kind of looking at a Colorado, trying to decide if it's the right truck for you. This is our experience with ours. And yes, we would definitely buy this truck again. It's been a good truck.
I added the little banner because I thought it looked a little empty up there, and I think it looks really cute, and I'm so excited. Yay, I got it done. So there's my little birthday cupcake. Back is just the bright pink. I got my little hanging loops on there, and it's ready, and I even got it done in time for my birthday because March is not done yet. Have a great day.